In this video, we're going to talk about 1.1 Objective 5, where we interpret a description of a statistical study. In a survey of 1,001 people, 701 or 70% said they voted in a particular presidential election. The margin of error for this survey was 3 percentage points. However, actual voting records show that only 61% of all eligible voters actually did vote. Does this imply that people lied when they responded in the survey? Explain. So, based on the survey, the actual percentage of voters is expected to be between 67% and 73%, which does not include the 61% value based on actual voter results. If the survey was conducted properly, it is unlikely that its results would be so different from the actual results, implying that either the respondents intentionally lied to appear favorable to the pollsters or that their memories were inaccurate. So that is B. In a poll, surveyed men were asked if they agreed with this statement: abortion is a private matter that should be left to women to decide without government intervention. Among the men who were interviewed by women, 70% agreed with the statement. Among the men who were interviewed by men, 64% agreed with the statement. Assuming that the discrepancy is significant, how might that discrepancy be explained? The best answer here is A, that men may think that agreeing is the response the female interviewers favor. A report stated that a survey of 16,000 high school students found that 41% of them reported being tired on most school days. The margin of error is less than 1/10 of a percentage point. Can we safely conclude that fewer than half of all students say that they are tired on most days? So first, let's assume that the margin of error is exactly 1/10 of a percentage point and gives a 95% or greater confidence interval. So the confidence interval for the study is 40.9% to 41.1%. Can it be safely concluded that fewer than half of all students say that they are tired on most days? Yes, it can, because the entire confidence interval is below 50%. So, yes, it can be concluded that fewer than half of the students say that they are tired on most days because the confidence interval is entirely below 50%. Let's look at problem 4. In a survey, 17% of 133 respondents said that they aspired to have their boss's job. The margin of error is 8 percentage points. Let's complete parts A through C. Based on the given information, state what you think was the goal of the study and identify a possible population and the population parameter of interest. So first, what was the goal of the study? It was to determine if employees want their boss's job, which is part B or option B. Now, what's a possible population? All people with a boss, right? You can't want your boss's job if you are the boss, if you don't have a boss, right? If you work for yourself. Identify the population parameter of interest and choose the correct answer. So that would be the percentage of respondents that want their boss's job. That would be C. Now, let's look at part B, where we briefly describe the sample raw data and sample statistic for the study. So what is the sample for the study? The sample is the 133 respondents of the survey. And then briefly describe the raw data for the survey. Then that would be the individual responses to the question. So hopefully it was asked in a way that was yes, no, but it could have been asked on a scale of 1 to 10, something like that. So however the responses were collected, that data, that raw data represents the actual responses from the people being surveyed. Briefly describe the sample statistic for the study. And the sample statistic for this study is the 17%. So now based on that sample statistic and the margin of error, which we were told before up here was 8 percentage points, so 17% plus or minus 8%, then identify the range of values that is likely to contain the population parameter of interest. The range of values likely to contain the population parameter is from 9%, that's 17 minus 8, to 25%, that's 17 plus 8. All right, we have one more question here for this video. In a poll of 546 randomly selected adults, 53% said that they were underpaid. The margin of error is 4 percentage points, so complete parts A through C. Based on the given information, state what you think was the goal of the study, identify the possible population, and the population parameter of interest. So first, what was the goal of the study? And that was to determine if people think they are underpaid, which is D. Now identify a possible population here, and that would be all adults, since that's who we're sampling. We're taking a sample from all adults. Identify the population parameter of interest. We're interested in the percentage of respondents that think they are underpaid, which is A. Now let's briefly describe the sample raw data and sample statistic for this study. So what is the sample for this study? That would be the 546 respondents of the poll. So that's A. And briefly describe the raw data for the study. So that would be the individual responses to the survey questions. So there it is. And briefly describe the sample statistic for the study. That would be 53%. Now, let's use that sample statistic and the margin of error that we were told was 4 percentage points. So 53 minus 4 gives us 49, and 53 plus 4 gives us 57%. That's our interval of values likely to contain the actual population parameter of interest. All right, that's it for this video. We'll come back next time and talk about 1.1 Objective 6. See you for the next video.